Hello and welcome to Lesson 2. This is Lesson 2 of the Intermediate Programming with Scratch. And we're going to, in this lesson, go over some concepts called parallel processing and some built-in variables with Scratch. Now this is going to expand over our 5 lessons for this particular unit. So our project is going to be this little guy up here. I'll expand it. You see we've got us a little built-in variable that I'll go over, and then a defined variable we're setting here, and then some buttons. We're going to program these buttons, and this guy isn't going to do anything real fancy, but we want to send this thing spiraling around chasing the mouse, and you'll notice how as I speak, this little guy here, and as I rotate my mouse, he follows my mouse, and then he gets bigger as I speak. So we're going to go over exactly what we're doing here with regard to some of the built-in variables that are in Scratch and parallel processing. So parallel processing, the concept is being able to do multiple things at once. And you'll notice right here, you're seeing something different from any other Scratch project we've created in all of our Scratch lessons so far. If you took the first 15 lessons in our Introductory to Scratch and Game Programming, here we're doing a thing called a message. And sending messages and broadcasting messages is something that lets us do multiple things at once, which is called parallel processing. It lets us do multiple things at once within Scratch. So you'll notice with this little spiral sprite, I am broadcasting, I'm sending this message. Think of broadcasting as you're shouting a message out so a bunch of things can happen at once. And we're doing several things. We've also got a little note here. It says, look, a parallel process. And the way you create a note is just right-click anywhere in your little block area and add comment. And once you add the comment, you can drag it into the block and it'll link it to it. So that's how I did this little note here. So we're doing some broadcasting here, and the broadcasting lets this thing react, and it lets this thing react after this start button is clicked. So after the start button is clicked, it is broadcasting. See where it says broadcast? And this broadcast block is right up in here in your control blocks. And if I want to do a broadcast, and I can create a new broadcast and call it anything I want. It's kind of like a little variable. So I'm broadcasting start, and I named this start. And you'll notice these things are all looking for when I receive start, when I receive that message. So in other words, when this is clicked, see when start is clicked, it's sending that message so that this thing can start to react and this thing can start to react. The other buttons are these. Stop, just going to stop all of our scripts. And the clear is all it's doing is it's just clearing everything. So you'll notice here a lot of things are happening. When I click clear, it's wiping the screen for us and clearing it out. So in the next lesson, we're going to get into a little bit more detail over what we're doing here with this spiral and this little move whirl. And then you'll also notice this built-in loudness variable. I'll show you where that's coming from. You'll notice your microphone is basically a little sensor, and this is picking up as I talk. You'll notice this goes up and down, and that's picking up the loudness from the microphone. And so we'll get into a little bit more of that here in lesson